Get back to our presentation. You're welcome to take notes. That actually might be the best way to handle things. But welcome to the webinar, 19 Secrets to Real Estate Success. This will take somewhere between 45 minutes to an hour. So just heads up on that. So we'll just dive right in, make use of your time. So we'll start with, we know that real estate, right, isn't really HGTV. So our consumers might think that's the way it works, where we go out and show them 3 homes. They pick one of the 3, they get all excited, they make an offer, the seller accepts the first offer, and life is a fairy tale. We know that's not real life. So the famous Tony Robbins says over here, of course, success leaves clues. In order for you to be successful in real estate or whatever it is that you're doing, you have to go and emulate and model somebody who's already achieved whatever it is that you want to achieve. So the point of this class is to kind of help you out with things that successful realtors wish they would have known at the beginning of their career. So whether you have been licensed for less than a year or 10 years or whatever, these are the basic tenements of a successful business. So I'm not selling you a lead generation system. I'm not, nothing like that. It is dialing in, it's 2020, it's time to get back to the basics. You don't need to go buy all these different lead systems and all these different social media planner people. So you can do the work yourself to create a successful business. So first and foremost, that word we all hate, a database. Database, number 1. So our database is our business plan. It is the foundation of your real estate business. So 4 rules over here on the left. First and foremost, have one. So I don't care if it's one that maybe is provided to you by your broker. So a database is also known as your CRM, your contact relationship management system. I don't care if it's a Google spreadsheet. I don't care if you've got your contacts in Google organized in a certain way. I don't care if it's Excel, but have a system. Ideally, you would want a real estate client management system or customer management system, because you want to be able to set up an automatic email drip campaign. Perhaps it can collect leads from your social media and drop it in and all types of stuff. However, start with something. Number 1 is have one. Number 2, communicate with it systematically. Everybody gets up, and what I hear as a real estate coach is one of the most challenging things of real estate is, but who do I call? I don't know anybody, but we do. The point is, you're going to have to put people in your database, feed it daily. Number 3, I don't know where my there it is, feed it daily, but communicate with it systematically. You don't want to call the same 10 people every week. You'll get blocked. And then of course you have to figure out, in addition to searching for new business every day, which we'll talk about that later, you're prospecting, you want to service all the leads that do come your way and follow up with everybody. Another thing over here is you want to be a service provider, not a salesman. I think this is also where a lot of real estate agents fail, is they are selling themselves. Look at me, I'm a real estate agent. Nobody cares. I know here in the Jacksonville area, there's 1,900 of us. Excuse me, 9,000 of us, literally. And that doesn't include the builder reps. There are 9,000 licensed realtors in the Jacksonville and greater First Coast area. So nobody cares that you're a realtor. What can you do for them? How are you going to service their needs? And then the goals for a database, you've got to figure out, again, how many people do you want in there? How many contacts does it take you personally before you get a lead? And those numbers will vary person to person. But your database is your business plan. And over here on the right, when we're in real estate, we have 2 businesses. There's the lead generation business, and there's the actual real estate business. So if you don't have any pending contracts or listings, you only have a lead generation business. Your job all day is to contact people. I don't care if that's email, phone call, text message, messenger, social media, what have you, but you are only in the lead generation business until you have real estate business. So let's just talk about, oh my God, where do the people come from, right? So let's start right here in the middle. And with my coaching clients, I do talk about this. One place you can start, your allied resources. So who are the people that you do business with? Your plumber, your electrician, your hairstylist, maybe you have a personal trainer or a yoga teacher. who are the people that you are spending money with? They in turn need to be spending money with you and sending you business. So that's first and foremost. If you're like, oh my God, who do I call? Next, of course, is your Mets. Who are the people in your Mets? Well, those are the people that literally know you on a first name basis. And the statistical number for that, regardless of how many people you think you truly do or do not know, whether it's 10 or 30 or 3,000, the true number statistically of people that know you on a first name basis is 218. That's a good starting point, my friends. Haven't Mets. Those are the people that we're prospecting for to bring them into our Mets. So that's our target group. That's why we prospect and lead gen every day, to reach people and make contacts with people we don't currently know, to put them in our circle. So who are those people? Those are people that we meet at networking events, open houses, restaurants, out in public, expireds, for sale by owners, anybody that is not currently in our mind or that we're not in their mind. So pretty much anybody else who's not currently knowing us on a first name basis, they're our targets. It's just that simple, because real estate is a people business. So let's move right on. Number 2, oh, this is one of my favorites. Lead with revenue, not expenses. I get on my soapbox, so hang on this. The myth over here is that it takes money to make money, right? That's what people always tell us. And the truth is, it takes leads, not money, to create business. Back to the prospecting we just talked about. So I want to challenge everyone, caution you, plead with you, whatever it is, to avoid the shiny objects. What do we mean? We hear that phrase a lot. So for our industry in real estate, that means that all those emails we get, all those solicitations on Facebook, those text solicitations where people are trying to sell us the latest and greatest lead generation system, whether that's, a social media marketing person or whether that is a new lead gen system. Don't spend money to make money. Cool on that? The phone's ringing, I hear it. So don't spend money to make money. So there is no shortcut. Real estate is, we say it's not sexy, it's boring, but whatever you do, my point is, it is just the relationships and not buying leads on Zillow or Realtor.com or anything like that. That's going to create business for you. So again, back to the relationships. It doesn't matter if the people you're trying to reach already know 8 other realtors or 18 other realtors, because relationships change. So just keep getting in front of different people. And then if you are so inclined, although I've just pleaded with you not to spend money on leads, remember that if you do, you want to have a 4-to-1 return on your investment. So what are you paying for your leads? For example, if you're paying $300 a month and you're 9 months into the year, then you have spent $2,700 on leads. So that should have already earned you just shy of $11,000 in gross commissions. You see what I'm saying? So don't spend money. Moral of the story there. So let's move on to number 3. Lead generation. The other thing we all hate. 2 to 3 hours a day. Oh my God. Nobody wants to do that, right? That does not mean I am telling you to be on the phone 3 hours a day calling people. No one wants to do that. Lead generation is simply having a meaningful 2-way conversation about real estate. So it's not just the cold calls. I already mentioned it's 2020. You can reach people by messenger, by text, by email, by social media. So, but it has to be a one-on-one, 2-way conversation regarding real estate. So it's not just saying, hey, I left a voicemail telling them I'm a realtor. It has to be an interactive 2-way conversation, and you have to ask for the business. So you have to ask for referrals. That's the key. So this does not include, by the way, follow-up calls. A lot of people cheat themselves. Follow-up calls are people that you're already working with or they're already hot leads and you're following up. Now that's different than over here on the left, 30 minutes of follow-up. That is in regards to the calls that you're making today. When you're done, whether it's calling, emailing, whatever, the conversations that you've had, you record it in your database. Spoke with Mr. Smith, they're expecting a new baby, they think they're going to need a bigger house. So then you put those notes in your database, you send a handwritten note to Mr. Smith and all the other people that you did make contact with, and perhaps even the ones that you didn't. Hey, you know, I tried to reach you today, just want to see how things are going in your life. Send them a handwritten note. And then, so that's the follow-up piece, is the notes. The other follow-up, again, just to reiterate, is people that you are already working with. That's a whole different time slot than this lead generation time slot. So without lead generation business, you simply don't have the leads. So just remember, it's only 20% of the activities, such as reaching out to contact your people, that creates 80% of the business. And again, if you don't have listings and you don't have pending contracts, then you need to spend 100% of your business reaching out to people to create that. Agreed? So let's move on. Number 4, find an accountability partner or coach. So I am a coach, but before we go there, there's all types of accountability partners. So what do you think of when you hear the word accountability? A lot of people don't like that, right? Oh man, that means somebody's going to be like on my butt all the time, telling me what to do. That's not necessarily true. Accountability is simply where you create your goals and somebody is kind of like your sounding board. What I say as a real estate coach is your mirror to just hold you to those goals, so you can reflect back on yourself and say, okay, why or why not did I accomplish those things today? Because really, truly, no one succeeds alone. We all need somebody helping us. That brings me down to this, the 2 evils in life, boredom and isolation. So real estate can be very boring, right? And so we suffer through those days. Maybe we have days where we don't have any appointments. We're not really sure. We're making phone calls. Somebody's calling us back. We're getting frustrated. We can get over that. The isolation is what I want everyone to protect themselves from. That's where you lose, obviously, personal contact with others. Many of us work from home. It's a very isolating business. That is what I want to help insulate you against. So even if you're working from home all day, whether you have a family or a partner or not, do not put yourself into a hole. I want you to get out there, interact with other humans during the day, set aside, even if it's an hour to get out there, take classes. So that's the one thing that an accountability partner can help you with, is the isolation piece, to make sure that you're doing okay, that you're not, sliding down the rabbit hole. And then of course, you're the average of the top 5 people you associate with. And we'll talk about this again later, but you hear this. So who are your top 5 mentors? Is it Tony Robbins that we mentioned? Is it Napoleon Hill? Is it John Maxwell? Is it a high school coach or teacher? Who are the people that left a positive impact on your life and you want to emulate their qualities? So think about your top mentors and then the people you associate with. So I want you to think about this, guys. Both personally and professionally, you become the average of the top 5 people that you associate with and whom people associate you with. So you are the company that you keep. That is so true, especially in our business that's so public. So if you're out there, for example, partying all the time on social media and you're hanging out with people that are, I don't know, maybe not good character, you're going to get the reputation that they have. So I want you to start thinking about that. This also means associate yourself with the right brokerage. Brokers, by the way, are not required to give us leads. That is not their job. So that's not what I'm referring to, but are you feeling that they're your people? You just feel good energy. Are you with the right brokerage? If not, that's something else you need to consider. So you need to examine the people that you are interacting with in both your personal and your public life. And then one more comment on the isolation thing. We know that statistically, 80% of new agents leave the business within the first 2 years, and that probably relates directly back to isolation. Again, they're not attending educational classes. They're not out there trying to create contacts and meeting new people. So, lesson learned, get an accountability partner or a coach to help you in your business, no matter how long you've been in it. Number 5, define your standards and systems. It's as simple as what we allow for ourselves is what we accept from others, because we teach people how to treat us. So what do I mean by that? So be a CEO of your own business. Set your boundaries, and not only set them, communicate them. So if somebody's on Zillow at 3 o'clock in the morning and maybe you're up because you're tossing and turning, you're stressed, or you get up to use the restroom or get some water, and you happen to look at your phone, don't respond to that person at 3 o'clock in the morning. You have just let that person know that they don't have control of your time and your sleep, and they're behind the wheel, right? We can't do that. And I have certainly had many people text me. Everybody knows I get up early, so I have had plenty of real estate text messages before 7 a.m. and I don't respond. I have my driver mode on my phone on my text messages for auto reply. It says all day, it says I'm in an appointment or teaching a class such as this, and I'll return your call as quickly as possible. My email signature has my time that says I work between the hours of 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. And if you reach me after that time frame or on Sundays, I'll return your email or phone call the following business day. You get to decide what your work hours are. And if somebody is going to run off and go work with somebody else because you weren't available at 6:01, then you probably didn't want to work with that person anyway. So it is up to you to define your systems and your standards and to teach people how to treat you. That's like one big place where a lot of people fail. Moving on. Number 6, create your MDVP. People are like, what? What does that mean? My friends, this is your mission statement, your vision statement, your values, your beliefs, and your perspectives. I don't know of many agents that do this at all, so I am asking you to do this. This should be created, by the way, with a coach or a mentor or a broker or an accountability partner. So obviously you need to know what your big goal is. Oh, I want to sell 2 homes a month. That's way too vague, and that's so not what this is. I want you to know how real estate will help you create the life that you want and enhance your life and all the goals that you can create by funding your ideal life. So you need to know who you are and very specifically what your goals are. You need clarity. Clarity gives you power. It also drives you to get up in the morning to engage in these mundane things like calling people. So it also laws of attraction. Again, you need to be able to define your values and your beliefs, because laws of attraction isn't about, of course, having everybody have the same beliefs we are politically, religiously, all that, because remember, we can't discriminate against people based on fair housing. But you want to attract the type of people that you want to work with. So maybe you don't want to engage with first-time home buyers, right? So you need to figure out what your values and your beliefs are. Oh, skipped over too far. Ah, gosh darn it. Look at, wow. All right, hang on, guys. A little technical difficulty there. Let me get back in for us. So let me go back to, so you need to figure out who it is that you want to work with. We jumped the gun way up here. Hang tight. And here we are. Goodness gracious. Oh, goodness gracious, guys. So I'm going to move on to, hang on, get back in here. Technical difficulties, that went crazy on us. Here we go, back in. And oh my. Sorry guys, my computer went crazy on me. All right, clarity is power. Laws of attraction. Sorry about that. So again, it's about attracting the people that you want to work with. Do you want to attract the first-time home buyers? Are you building your business model around listings only? So that's what I mean. So you have to know your values and have a vision of the type of business you want to create so that you can communicate that to the public. It's just that simple. So next is 7, social media. Now we could spend a whole week or, you know, gosh knows, a whole month talking about social media strategies. So we're not going to go all the way there, obviously. We're going to just talk about how it is the low-hanging fruit. I see so many posts, like I said a minute ago, that are repeated, right? By, you see people keep reposting the same cute little memes and they just put their name on it, and nobody wants to see that. So you need to use social media effectively. So that's a whole different class. But you have got to be present on social media. And Facebook, what story are you telling people? You have got to interact your business posts with your personal posts. And my recommendation to you is people want to work with people that they remember, that they know, like, and trust. So you want to focus your social media more on the personal posts. And, just be cautious in what you put on there as far as letting people into your life, but people want to get to know you. Who are you as a person? They're going to work with people that they know, not some stranger that sent them an ad on social media. So you've got to start thinking about how you're showing up on social media. So I want you to start thinking about that. So some general things though, like I said, be authentic, know your audience. So what I have found is that, first of all, be succinct. Nobody wants to read a whole storybook. So make it quick little sentences, just one thing or two. Use the backgrounds, pictures, video, we know is number one. So you're going to have to learn to get out of your comfort zone and start using video on social media, just heads up. So that's one thing. So don't post the same boring stuff over and over. And here's something else I want you to think about. Don't friend request other agents on your business page. I cannot reiterate that enough, okay? Do not do it, because now you have let them into your business page. They can snake your prospective customers, and now you are connected to them, so your people can go outside to them. Don't do it. The purpose of connecting with people on social media is to get business customers. So your posts have got to be for a specific audience. You got to know who you're trying to reach and be concise in your message. So again, we're going to table that because we could go there for days. So number 8, I want you to be learning-based and action-focused. So what do I mean by that? So go to training and stay engaged. However, I don't want you to be what we call a professional student, or what I say a perpetual student, where you are taking classes as an excuse not to engage in the business. So I've been licensed for 24 years and I still take classes from other people. I do not know it all. The world changes every day. We have iBuyers, social media changes every day, every week. So I am still learning from other people, and I always will be, even though I actually own a real estate school. So you have got to incorporate trainings into your lifelong career. And since it's the beginning of March, one thing to think about that is, as you're creating your March calendar, which I hope you have, of your activities, first of all, the first things that go on your calendar are your personal activities, and we'll talk about that later as well. The second thing is those things that are what we call non-negotiables. So if there's a training class this month that you want to attend, that goes on your calendar first, because you don't get to dictate when somebody's going to teach you. So let's go down to mastering everything. You will never master everything. No one that I know of is a master in anything in real estate. Some people are better at other things than others. For instance, we have people that are very good with cold calling for sell by owners and doing the conversion on those, right? That's not my skill. Some of us are very good at marketing and social media. That's my skill. So you need to just work at something and continue to get better and better at it, but you will never be a master in real estate. Nobody is. It's a perpetual, ongoing learning process. However, what everybody always does need to work on is develop the skill of active listening. So as salespeople, we always want to talk more than we listen, agreed? So I want you to start focusing on listening, taking notes, and instead of responding for the sake of speaking, start asking another question. So if you ask a question and the buyer consultation gives you an answer or response, say, great, tell me more. So it's what I call peeling back the layers of the onion. Nobody's going to give you all the information right up front. So start asking to get to a little deeper. So that's what you need to start doing to develop good listening skills. So track your business early and often. This is another place people seem to fail. So what do I mean? So you need to know your conversion ratios. So instead of just saying, oh, I just want to close 2 houses a month. That sounds good. Guys, that's ridiculous. That's just random, and that's just like pulling numbers out of a hat. So you need to know, like I said earlier, how many people does it take for you to contact before you get a lead or a referral? So is that 12 people? Is that 25? Is that 68? And I bet you don't know. So that's the first thing you need to start tracking, is how many people are you going to call today, and is it going to get you a lead? Did you literally have 12 conversations by 5 o'clock today, and you got one person say, yeah, my next door neighbor's looking to sell? Or did you make 25 calls a day and nobody called you back? What is your personal conversion ratio from a conversation to a lead? Then you need to know how many appointments are needed before you get a sale. So for instance, do you have to go on 4 listing appointments every month to get 1 listing? That's a 25% conversion ratio. Are you very organized? You interact with people well, and out of every 4 listing appointments go on, you score 3. You need to know your numbers. So obviously, if you are failing and you're not meeting your goals, it's probably because right here, you're not tracking what you're doing. You're doing everything so random. So you have to know where you're going, obviously. And in order to do that, you have to know where you've been. So if you've been in the business for more than a year or 2, you also need to go back and look at where's your business coming from. I know one girl said her business, 66% of it comes from social media. So is your business coming from social media? Is it coming from people calling you, friends? Is it coming from open houses? Where is your business coming from? You've got to know your numbers. Cool? Let's move on to number 10, treat it like a business, my friends. We've already talked about being the CEO, right? So many realtors treat it like a hobby. Did you get up this morning and go, oh, cool, well, I know I'm going to attend this webinar, and then I'm going to go to lunch with a friend, and oh, I don't know, it's a pretty day outside. I don't know, maybe I'll go hang out later. That's not treating your business like a business. Today is Monday, and it's also the beginning of a new month. So I hope that you are going to dial in all day to create new business. So we talked about real estate being boring, right? So you need to follow a routine and set a schedule. Yuck. But if you were going into an office and clocking in, whether salaried or with a time clock, this is what you have to do. You have to follow somebody's schedule. The benefit of owning your own business is you get to set your schedule. So are you going to work from 8 to 3 every day and then you go pick up the kids? You get to decide, but you have to have one. So you need to ask yourself, why is your business not where you want it to be? So over here, are you showing up as someone who earns 100%, maybe $100,000, or maybe your goal is $250,000, or whatever your goal is? Are you showing up in your business as someone who deserves that kind of income? How are you engaging with people? Do you know what your hourly rate is? Do you know how many hours you put into a week, into a month, and then what your gross commission is? So if you're working 50-hour weeks and you only made $3,000 this month, that's not a good rate of return on your time, friends. So you need to start tracking how many hours are you working, and then what gross income did that create for you that month. So you got to start tracking your business. The purpose of real estate and being your CEO is to fund, it says your perfect life. I just like that word ideal better, okay? But would you hire yourself? What are you lying to yourself about? What are you claiming that you're doing that you're truly not engaging in that you could start today? It's a new month. And just remember too, what you do today shows up in 90 days. So you're planting the seeds today. So whatever it is you're going to do now in March is actually going to show up for business in like June. So you're way past first quarter. You're already looking into knee deep into the second quarter of your real estate goals. So how are you showing up? Let's move on to number 11. We've already talked about this a little bit, right? So we'll just kind of reiterate this real quick. Associate with like-minded people. I've already said, if you're not feeling that you're in a good spot with your brokerage, then maybe it's time to change. Simon Sinek says the goal in business is not to do business with those who need what we have, is to do business with those who believe what we believe. Again, the laws of attraction. So in your personal life, I've already mentioned this, you want to associate yourself with people who support you and encourage your goals. So if you're in a relationship or the person's like, oh my God, I don't know why you're in real estate. Everybody else is in there. There's no way you're going to make enough money for us. You need to examine whether you're not really engaging or if that person is a Debbie Downer, as they say. So you need to start figuring out who you're associating with, and maybe you've got to change the people in your life. It's that simple. So let's move on to master listing presentation. So what's that all about? So I'm here to tell you, full disclosure, some people love buyers and some people love sellers. However, statistically speaking, the 3 L's of real estate are leads, listings, and leverage. So we've already talked about how to get leads. You have to prospect, right? And It is a whole lot easier to get buyer leads, particularly in a seller's market, because there's more buyers than sellers. However, if you are interested and you can sculpt your business model so that you are focusing on getting listings, whether that's social media and or for sale by owners and expired or whatever your method is, open houses even. If you can focus on listings, the rule of thumb is you can manage 12 listings independently before you get an assistant versus 8 buyers at any given time. That's just nationally speaking. So you can manage more people if you were seller-based versus buyer-based, just because buyers take up more time. And as we know, if you've got the listings, that's where the buyers come from anyway. So some of those buyers will turn into sellers. So the other thing too is you don't want to wing it. So don't go and make phone calls for listings until you have a listing presentation. I don't care if that's a PowerPoint or if you've got, some other kind of program or a Word document, but you need to have some kind of listing presentation that you use consistently. It needs to include, again, your vision and your goals and communicate your boundaries. It needs to include your marketing plan. It needs to include what sets you apart from everybody else. And it needs to include the statistics for the neighborhood and the area. So you've got to practice that with somebody before you ever go out there and practice on real people. Otherwise, you've cost yourself a whole lot of money. Let's move on. Objections. Oh, here's the one none of us want to talk about, right? So scripts usually carries a negative connotation, right? We all have them. They just usually are no good, our scripts. But scripts bring confidence. So I'm not a fan of scripts either. I'm just going to put that out there. However, it's how I started my business too. If you will practice with scripting, and you will learn how to overcome the common objections. And over here on the left, we say, just pick the top 5. And oftentimes, if it's for a listing, a lot of that often involves, the commission amount we charge. So think of the top 5 objections you've heard so far in your career or just by studying other people, and figure out a good way to overcome that. What is a good, real response without being sarcastic? So start thinking about that. And of course, as a real estate coach, I have actually a 38-page script book with my coaching program, by the way. But I don't care if you get scripts from YouTube, if you go to classes, if you practice with a coach, with somebody on your team, with your broker. But if you don't have the confidence to go through a listing presentation and or a buyer consultation, I need you to start practicing scripts with somebody. Memorize them, internalize them, as I say, and then you customize and personalize. So I don't want you to sound like some canned robot on a 1-800 call. But if you don't start somewhere, you're going to be out of the business in the first 2 years. And we've already talked about this, ask better questions. We've already gone through that as well, remember? Let's move on. Know your market better than anyone. Oh my, people don't do this either. I've already said in your listing presentation that you need to know the local market statistics. So you can get this through MLS. I know here in the Jacksonville area, we have NEFAR.com. There's actually a market statistics tab, and there's a monthly report that's somewhere between 50 to 55 pages. So it gives us the first 2022 or general statistics for Northeast Florida, and then it breaks it down by MLS region. So those numbers are going to be a little more specific to somebody's neighborhood. But you need to know the numbers, what's going on, because if you're at the grocery store, someone goes, oh, hey, how's the market? Wouldn't that be great? Instead of saying, oh my God, it's awesome, I'm so busy. If you had real numbers that you could have an intelligent conversation with somebody, that's how you get the confidence and the attention of people that may be looking for a house. Set your goals and create a plan. I talked about this in my mastermind call this morning. This is another place where a lot of people fail. If it's not written down, it doesn't exist. I don't want you to be realistic. Oh, I just want to sell 2 houses a month this year. Okay, that's very random. That's very generic. And even as a coach, I have a coach, and when I gave him my goals last year, he said that I wasn't specific enough. A goal also has to be very specific, and it has to be measurable, and it has to be time-based. So instead of, I just want to sell 2 homes a month, I want to sell 24 homes this year with a minimum price range of $200,000 each. So by December 31st, 2020. You need to be very specific. So it's March. So if you've been waffling all year, the first 2 months, let it go. You can start right today. It's a new month, new day. It's a Monday. The other thing is people get so lost and, oh my God, there's so much to do. Oh my God, I just, chasing the squirrels, right? There's so much to do in real estate. So chunk it down. If you want to get to 2 new listings this month, to be specific, not just 2 new contracts, how many people are you going to call each day? How many open houses are you going to have? What days are you going to hold the open houses? Are you going to networking events? I want you to write it down, very specific actions you're going to do. And remember, there's going to be days you're going to be bored. It's repetitive, it's mundane, it's unsexy. But if you just stay committed, it's the consistency and the persistency in the behaviors that get you where you want to be. I promise. Be a time blocking ninja. Oh, another thing everybody hates, isn't it? So if you say yes to something, that means you say no to something else, right? So I said earlier, the first thing I want you to put in there is your family stuff. Those are non-negotiables. Family first, my friends. And then I just said earlier, I want you to put in educational stuff. So any classes that are already scheduled for this month you want to attend, go ahead and look, whether that's through NEFAR or you've seen some Facebook webinars you want to take. I'm not sure how you found this, but I had it on social media and Eventbrite. So anything like that that's a set time, I'm doing this at 11 o'clock this month, and this is it. This is your one-time opportunity in March to take this. So anything like that goes first. Any networking events, maybe there's something at 5 o'clock on Thursday that's a local professional networking group. Put those on. Then go ahead and determine some predetermined appointment slots. So here's the thing, guys. When people call us, don't say, oh my God, I'm pretty free this week. When would you like to get together? You have once again given them control over your time. We are in charge of our business. So go ahead and block out maybe from 3 to 6 on Wednesday, you're open. Maybe Saturday, 12 to 5, you're open. Whatever your predetermined open areas are, that's when you go on buyer consultations and listing appointments. So when you do get those leads from your lead generation, you say, hey, great, I'm available on Wednesday at 3 or Saturday at 1, which is better for you. Give them 2 opportunities. And if neither one of those work, people will tell you, and then they'll offer the 3rd time slot. And if you can make it work, great. So then the next thing you want to put in there is those 2 to 3 hours every day of your lead gen and lead follow-up. And when I say every day, in real estate, if you just work 5 or 6 days a week, I want you to take a full day off, by the way. So that's the other thing is I want you to schedule personal time as well. And we never tell people that it's my day off. They don't care about that. That sounds like you're being lazy to somebody that wants to see a house. So I am booked on Sunday. Sundays are my day off. So whatever it is, you don't tell them it's your time off, but you just say you already have an appointment that day. Same thing if you've got a hair appointment, if you've got to take Sally suit or a dance recital, whatever it is, you already have an appointment at that time if you're truly not available. So I want you to start thinking about that. We don't owe people an explanation on our personal life. Cool? Let's move on to live in abundance and not scarcity. And you hear this a lot. I mean, this is a common theme we hear. So are you living in faith or fear? Because it takes the same amount of effort. So are you allowing fear to make all of your decisions? Are you getting in your own way? I ask people a lot. So you need to decide if you're just going to, like for instance, let's just take video on social media. So everybody's like, oh my God, I don't want to do that. And I was the same way for a long time. And finally I just did it. And you know what? When that freeze frame comes up, and there is a way to stop that. So, when it's the still before people click on to play the video, there is a way to set the frame so you don't look goofy. However, point is just do it. Once you do it, you will get over your own obstacles in your mind. We are a product of our circumstances and a product of our decisions and actions, or rather inactions. So we are in control of the outcome of our business. We can't blame it on, oh my God, there's 9,000 agents in Jacksonville. There's no way I'm going to make any money, right? So that goes down to here as well. Because I already said early on in the presentation that it doesn't matter if a person knows 8 different realtors, relationships change. I've been licensed for 24 years, and it's happened to me a lot, frankly, in the last 2 years. People that I know have sent me referrals, and I go and contact the referral person. They're like, oh no, because my best friend at work, her sister just became a realtor, so I'm going to use her. Relationships change. So you've got to be in front of new people all the time. So we've already talked about some days are boring, some days it's frustrating, some days we hear a bunch of no's. So it all begins in your mind. So you have to take ownership of whether you're going to succeed or not, because whether you're working with a coach, an accountability partner or whatnot, at the end of the day, the coach didn't help you succeed. They may have helped you, but you can't blame your successes or credit your successes and blame your setbacks on your coach or your accountability partner, anybody but yourself. At the end of the day, it's what you put into it and how you wake up every day with your mindset. You have to own both. And each failure that we have is a learning experience anyway. So back to a vision for your business. So let's just kind of reiterate that just a little bit as we start wrapping up. You've got to, again, keep thinking forward. We all have setbacks. We all have people that we thought we were working with and they run off to an open house and work without us. You've got to get over that. So you have got to have that clear vision and keep moving forward in spite of all the failures and the setbacks and the frustration in our business. So you want to attract the people that that have the same vision as you have and can continue to communicate that out so you can attract those people. So before you can communicate to people who you are, you have to know. So you have to write that down. So mindset does matter. So that goes back to creating your mission and your vision and your values and your beliefs and your perspective statement. So who's going to help you create that? Your big why, my friends. What is this? And you guys have heard this a lot, I'm sure. This is a common concept as well these days. So what helps you get out of the bed in the morning to do real estate? Why are you doing this? What is, you know, were you in the corporate world and you're glad to have freedom? Are you abusing that freedom and you really don't have a plan? What motivates you to get out of bed to be in real estate? So on those days, adversity, when you nobody's returning your phone calls, or you host an open house and nobody shows up, or you're working with a buyer and they start ghosting you because they feel bad because all of a sudden they went to a new community without you and didn't tell you, so you didn't register them. So on days like that, what motivates you to keep going anyway and persevere to the next day? Your big why. This is obviously a philosophical and psychological thing. Is it big enough to evoke emotion in you? Because people act on emotion, not rationalization. So what is it that's going to keep you engaged in real estate? So when the why of why you're doing this is big enough, it doesn't matter the how. So who else will sacrifice if you don't make your goals? Are you supposed to be the breadwinner in your family? Do you have 3 other people and a dog depending on you? Who is dependent on you to close those 2 homes a month or whatever it is, whatever your goal is? Who else is going to be affected if you fail? Because you're probably not in this alone. And keep asking yourself, why am I doing this? What is it? And maybe it changes throughout your career as well. So that's okay to redefine your why, but you have to keep asking yourself and digging deeper. What is your why? We've just mentioned that logic makes people think, but it's emotion that makes you act. So your why has to motivate you on the inside to have you continue to be in real estate. And this goes back to, are you showing up as a $100,000 agent? Would somebody want to hire you? So again, are you choosing to do this full time? Are you choosing to be in real estate all in? Is your mind wandering off during the day, or are you truly focused on the task at hand? Are you really doing this to be in it, to win it, as they say? Because there are no participation trophies in real estate. And the other thing, that we say is you're only as good as your last closing, because, we don't get a salary. So that's kind of in a nutshell. That's been right around 45 minutes or so. So those are your 19 things. I hope that it's at least instigated some conversation in your mind. So this was created by Jake Dixon. He is the CEO of the Locker Room Business Development Group, which I pay access to the tools and resources of that through my coaching company, which is called Boundless Coaching. So if you wanted to take a screenshot of this, there's my contact information. So I just wanted to share this with you. I do this every month. I'm going to open the floor now to anybody who has any questions. Unmute everybody. Does anybody have any questions? No? Well, then I'm going to wrap this up. I'm thankful that you all attended today. I have recorded this, so I will send it out. If you joined by Eventbrite, then I have your email address, and I'll be happy to send it to you. Have a great Monday and a great March. Bye, guys.